And that's that on the newspaper headline. We'll be moving straight now to the newspaper review. And in the studio with us is Chris Maduka. Chris, good morning. Wonderful to have you here with us.
Thank you, Josh. No, why are you laughing?
It was your post.
Are you into mind reading?
No, not at all.
Because I'm suspecting you so much these days, And Charles, it's good to have you.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, it's bright and early, and so much, You're trying to read out headlines that you are interested, you want to talk about it.
Yes.
You don't even want to talk about anything because they are just all important.
Absolutely. In fact, the one that we have been looking at that looks like it's going to be chaotic is the one that is due September 21.
Yes.
The governor outrightly told the peace accord guys, I'm not going to sign this. I mean, you can't be arresting the leaders of my party and chasing others to hiding and then expect me to sign the peace accord. What does this portend for the elections that is in few days from now?
The peace accord in Nigerian elections has always been just a matter of fulfilling our righteousness. At the national elections, we have seen peace accords signed. And most of the states, all these isolated elections, you will find a peace accord signed. But the Edo issue, that the sitting governor has a very clear point. Because I have said several times in different fora, even on this place, that the power of incumbency in Nigerian politics, we have not grown out of it. So it's like the story of a king who sent his son to a state to work. And then the king is sitting somewhere and the message is brought back. In that place, he comes and said, my king sent me. My father is the king of this empire. He has sent me here to come and work. And he was saying, but I am in charge of this area. He said, okay, let's see who is in charge. That's what is playing out in Nigeria, and all the Nigerian people know. The APC government at the center, we need to tell the truth. Have not proven themselves otherwise that they want free elections in Nigeria without their overbearing influence on all. So if anything is happening, they've not come all out and say, we are not part of this. Because before now, you see the build-up, people have been killed when it concerns the party, and there's like a force somewhere. Let's talk about it. Who does IGP report to? He's going to deploy 35,000 policemen to Edo alone. He knows something we do not know, because it's from the way he is, the view is clear. But what we at the down level are seeing is there is a high level of insincerity, no level playing ground, and the party, everybody is like the legendary story of the snake and the killer of the snake. Everybody, life. My father told me that everybody in this world loves life. He said, if anybody want to take your own, if you don't know what to do, swallow it in your stomach. That's philosophical. The people on the ground that gave the ground, why they could not sign? Who is the person who, the Odara, what they call it in Yoruba, the Agbalomo. Yeah. He said, I'm not the only street that bears child that they always they press the mouth. You know how you eat Agbalomo? You have to press it, you know. They just, every time they just get to that and pay one way on, you know. So the man is crying out. Let the federal government respond. Let them give a very clear template that they are playing with clear hands on Edo politics. Like they know overbearing influence, the sitting governor, who is supposed to be chief security officer, according to the Nigerian constitution, not minding that they always sit tight, you know, winner takes it all. So it's not a monopoly of Edo, but somebody is like to squeeze it out of his hand. And the Bible said you cannot arrest the man of the house unless you tie him down and put him there before you can do anything. And that's what the power beyond Obaseki is trying to do.
Wow.
When he had the power, it's a very clear politics playing in Nigeria. APC at the center, PDP states are being squeezed, and at this point now, APC is PDP is clearly worried about losing another state to the party at the center. So if you were the governor there, will say, during my own time. And they want to know that you want to follow the footsteps of Goodluck Jonathan. When the fight is too much, I throw in the towel and say, bow and tremble, and then take.
I mean, you just made a very critical point that the IGP reports to the presidency.
Exactly.
And we have seen what has happened with the reports that came out with the last election in 2023.
Exactly.
I mean, are we going to see another chaos in Edo State, given how critical...
It's boiling now. The sitting governor said, I won't sign peace accord. Most of my people who belong to PDP have been killed. And you are pressing peace accord. Who is supposed to sign peace accord? So you sign at the detriment of your own people. Let the people who come into equity come with clean hands. I think Obaseki, without bias, has been playing his card very well, because I know of other states that they won't be talking about this.
Absolutely.
You won't be talking about this. You will see the corpses fill the street. But this man is now crying probably because he wants to leave he's now thinking his tenure is over. He wants to leave a good legacy, so nobody will. But the ones who are pressing him, are they coming that are the opposition party in Edo? Because Edo now, APC is the opposition in Edo, a very strong one, because they have power of the federal to back them up. But PDP is just like the orphan. So they have to really, and the fight of cowards. The fight of cowards is a philosophical fight. A coward is somebody who, when he said we are playing, he said no problem. But when he succeeds in a wrestling match, which is supposed to be played, to put you down, he will turn it into a fight. I'm
just imagining this situation, how the cards are playing. Previously, when you have South-South, this kind of, isolated elections in the South-South, PDP usually sends Wike to go, because he has this level of madness that comes with him, and he tends to wield it when it comes to these kinds of elections. But right now, it's as if he's either near or there.
You forgot that they are sending a Wike in incognito. They said the man who is going to be the returning officer, the chief INEC person in Edo, is Wike's cousin.
Oh, goodness.
And you've heard that? If you don't hear that, so many things are playing out in Edo, and the Edo people are not sleeping, because they know what this means. The thing is, power is fast slipping out of the hand of PDP. And like somebody said, the tortoise, legendary tortoise said, it will be an error. They say my wife beat me in a fight. So what I would do is to hold the tree. Instead of my wife beating me, I will hold it strongly to a tree. Let it be that we are struggling, so that nobody say, he will not go down and say tortoise was beaten by his wife. So he puts it in your... The thing playing out, all the states, all the people maintain it as their empire, want to, hand over, continue to... And that's what has brought our development in Nigerian politics. So it's not going to be until we all sit down and say, we want to grow beyond this. Look at the local government election. They have... The federal government has considered going to appeal court to declare, the Supreme Court to say this is how it's going to go. All the states, it's just playing out the same thing. Where it is APC, you will hear all. If it's 27 local governments, APC takes over. If it's PDP state, it's a walkover, PDP. And they do it in such a way that it becomes very clear that we are not moving forward. Because if they are creative, that's why I tell Nigerian politicians, I wonder, if they're creative, they will allow, like Idi Amin will say, just allow fear of the opposition, Idi Amin's style is kill fear of our people. Let's say the opposition attacks us. But this one, they won't even give the opposition a councillor opposition. Not even councillor of a ward cannot be allowed in any state of this big party. And then, so what are they talking about?
Okay, so Chris, because of time, let's not, just dwell on one topic.
He's just a door, and he has talked about everything we were talking about.
Yes.
So let's move on.
So let's move on to Vanguard, just below the mask.
Bono flawed.
No, yes. IMF to federal government. Protect the poor from impact of fuel price hike. Then the rider now went forward to say that, says petrol still selling below market price. Oh.
See, that's what we're talking about. A lot of our Nigerian leaders in the past, it was during Obasanjo regime in Nigeria, he depended so much on these eggheads to advise him. But he, he's a very diplomatic, very wise man. At the point, he now find out that he has a choice of either playing all to the rules religiously or that IMF and the World Bank are advising. So you get to a point and then said, like the legendary tortoise, I hold the hand to the tree. It did not be that it's IMF that is running Nigeria. Let IMF and these satanic, corrupt, capitalist templates that are putting on Nigeria allow Nigeria be. I don't think they're doing anything good to Tinubu. And Tinubu government has given all his spirit, all his life to them. They are now sitting there. Look at the kind of advice. They give with one hand and take 20 with the right, left. They can never. There's nothing that the IMF is doing for Nigeria now. Look at what the rider. After they have told you, so which one? They are talking for both sides. Relief, make it easier for your people. And but still, they now say fuel is not yet selling at market price. Which market? Nigeria has a big market for his fuel. Why was IMF there? What are they telling Nigerians to do? To sell it at dollar rate and Nigeria, where we even have oil here. And then they not tell us they don't have a hand. Next time, if we had ship and they've done it in some African countries, Nigeria might rise up and say, anything IMF will leave Nigeria. Because they have not helped us one bit. If they are the people advising our leaders to do this, that means what they are telling us that we are crying so soon. That fuel might be sold in Nigeria at the price of 5,000 naira per liter. That's what IMF said. Watch out how they do Nollywood film. So it is this, watch out for the next edition of 5,000 per liter fuel in Nigeria. With IMF, what they are talking about, they have just told us to get prepared. So you get to a point where we now find out who the real enemy is. But remember, it's the rat that is in the home that tells the one in the bush there's a fish over the fire, hanging over the basket over the fire in the kitchen. If the Nigerian leaders have not brought them in full length to take control and tell you how to sleep with your wife, when to wake up, how much liter you put in your tank or go, how much you sell, even the crude you get, they will determine. That's the reason why they set up OPEC, set up all those controlling organizations that do not allow the African nations to breathe in the way of global economy. It's total. Because you can't go to global economy without being equal. Why win the global economy when we don't have the same thing to compete with America and we say we are doing, there's no global nothing. They are not allowing African countries to rise. And African leaders have not seen it that way because they want to maintain the comfort of their home. Who sold the Scarlet to our president? Is it Nigeria or NNPC? Right? Who sold the jet? The market where they go and buy. So they will just control and they now come and if you don't support us. That's why most of our... They told me, my father said, that the he-goat that you carry and put up upon a she-goat cannot perform. In Hagobe, you carry he-goat, say, go and do the thing on top of it. The man will be looking at it because he still has the conscience. Let him do it by himself. Why are they the one advising? All the African countries, IMF and World Bank advise, you see how chaos and troubles everywhere. Let them allow us to breathe.
I mean,
they are satanic. They don't have conscience.
You could say this, but again, in reality, most of the monies that we have used
are from them.
We borrowed it from them.
So you keep borrowing a nation that you stop. If you still go today, they will borrow. Now that means feeding you on cocaine if you are used to it. And when they not start the pulling gradual withdrawal, if they want to heal us of the habit of borrowing, must we borrow? So you cry that the one you have borrowed is still say borrow more. Borrow more. You borrow and put the 20 next generation of Nigerian children to keep paying debt on perpetual debt servicing. Okay. And when Okonjo-Iweala and his people tried to find and got them, it was high level of horse trading to get them to forgive Nigeria of certain debt. Within 1 year, we went back to the same figure of what we are owing. The Paris Club, or whatever, Paris Club, and so much of the clubs that are there, overlooking Nigeria, big brothers. overlooking Africa.
So Chris, because of time, that kind of time
Yes,
that I'm talking
that
about. So,
time.
but before we go, we've spoken about this. Intensively. I'm with you. Treason. Court grants 10 #bad governance protesters 100 million bail.
Because they are 10. So 10
Each
million
10.
each. So when you say,
No, that's
my people say, is the juju process that they don't want it to work at all. That's what you tell the client, to go and bring the intestine of a fly. So I want to do juju for you. Go. So part of the condition is go and bring the intestine of a fly. They're still bent on holding on to their guys because people say they are protecting hunger and hardship. You are giving them to pay them 10 million each. So if they have 10 million to pay you, will they come out to the streets
come out to protest?
To cry and see the federal government? I'm looking at Nigeria and somebody, a judge from Nigeria with Nigerian blood running in his or her veins, is sitting in a court to do this in Nigeria in 2024, and he has children who probably abroad will want to come back here. If you shit on your way to the market, there's this kind of fly, Okijiji, big fly. That's the one who welcome you when you are way back. That's what I say. Whatever you sow, you take. This is Nigeria for us. So place it the way you want. How we make our mouth to lie on it. But some of them that make the decisions, they don't sleep. They have murdered sleep. Shakespeare said, you can't murder sleep and want to sleep. Some of you Nigerian leaders have murdered sleep and there's no sleep again for them. So I sure that is that time.
Yeah, but just in passing, just 1 minute. Maiduguri is flooded and it's quite devastating. I don't know what you think.
The way the Nigerian government, you see on the headlines, they are attacking the Maiduguri issue. It shows there is hope. I hope that when it happens in Aniri, that they will make, because that's what I keep, equity. When it happened in Maiduguri, our heart goes to our brothers and sisters who are suffering, and they have called that 1 million people displaced, over 1 billion naira. They lost tomato farmers alone, over 100 people that died. So whatever that's happened there, let it be that when it happens in another place, such attention will be given. And that's only my style. We are sorry. May God help us in Nigeria. This is a disaster for one by NIMED, but it still caught us by surprise. God bless Nigeria.
This is where we ended. Many thanks for being part of the reviews this morning. We're back shortly with more after this. Just stay with us.